I didn't have to test drive the car first because my dad did. Huh? I got an excerpt I want to share with you guys. I'm all big on books. Madison Pruitt, The Love Everybody Wants. If you guys need this book, I need you guys to check this out. She is phenomenal. Her book is phenomenal. And there's an excerpt that I really want to share with you guys because she shares the story. Of course, her target audience is not a guy, right? I don't think she had a guy in vision at all writing this. However, I picked this up because it was a very valuable book that I remember hearing about for so long. And she talks about a lot of things that I expected. I mean, using so many cultural terms and perspectives and yet bringing it back to a very grounded space to help us understand the value of relationships, the value of people, the value that we carry, the value of sex, the value of romance, and the value of doing things God's way. Okay, that's how I would summarize that in essence. But I want you guys to check this out because this is so beautiful that I think is a wonderful analogy that's going to tie all this up, because I told you guys that one of the common things that you'll hear in dating and doing relationships is people thinking that they have to test drive it in order to see if it's something they want. And maybe it's not always in the form of sex as it is, hey, I need to move in with you to see if I really want to live with you. Hey, I really need to do this X, Y, and Z with you to actually see if this is something that I really want to do with you for the rest of my life. And we're cheating covenant and we're making covenant with dysfunction. So hear me out. This is beautiful. This is in her chapter of Drive Before You Buy, Pursuing Purity Protects Purpose. Shout out Madison Pruitt, man. This is just fire. I just want to read this. When I got my first car, it was Christmas Day, and my parents sent me on a scavenger hunt. One clue leading to the next, I was so anxious to see what I got. My mom videoed my every movement. My sisters followed me around eagerly. My dad was just proud to be there. We were all in our matching pajamas, which was our Christmas tradition. I had no idea what to expect, but I knew it had to be something big because the video camera was out. I finally got the last clue, and it led me to the driveway. I couldn't believe it. An all-white car with a big shiny red bow. I thought, this is for me? My sister Mallory started crying. She was so happy for me. I couldn't believe my parents pulled off such a big surprise without me finding out. And of course, I couldn't believe they got me a car. I was so thrilled and shocked. I immediately began thinking about the playlist I was going to make for late night drives with my friends. I hugged my parents tightly. I wanted them to feel my appreciation. I opened the driver's door, sat down inside, and took a deep breath. It had the new car smell. I just want to pause for a second. If you remember getting your first car, this resonates too well with you, right? I sat in the car for hours just taking it in. Then I adjusted my rearview mirror, scooted up my seat, and pulled out of the driveway. I remember thinking, this car is perfect. It's everything I love in a car and exactly what I would have picked out. It drives like a dream. I want to make a point here. I didn't have to test drive the car first because my dad did. Huh? Can I say it again? I didn't have to test drive the car first because my dad did. My dad went to the dealership, looked at all the options, drove the car around, and decided, yep, this is one is made for Maddie. My dad knew exactly what I wanted and, more importantly, what I needed. And how much more does your Heavenly Father know exactly what you need? He knows every desire of your heart. He put the desires there. And let me tell you, when you trust your Father to give you exactly what you need, it's always better than what you could have ever picked out for yourself. I mean, there's so many things that I could read from this book, but I just want to share that with you because this whole deal that you have to test drive the car before you buy it is trash and we should throw it out. 2025, don't use that no more. We've already said it, but I'm going to say it again. Don't use that no more. When you really trust in the Father who knows what you like, God is not going to play you so dirty and set you up with something that doesn't align with what you don't like. Now, some of us got to change what we like because some of us still got a taste for worldly things and we're expecting God to deliver a man or a woman for us. But when in reality, we're using worldly standards to define what that woman looks like. Instagram has told you that women look a certain way, that the Jillian Naises of the world are the most attractive. Instagram models are the most attractive, right? All these women that are above your bracket in a lot of ways have just told you that if you don't find a girl like that, she ain't your girl. It's just your turn. She ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like all these different terminologies that we're just hearing repetitively from people, and it's trash. It's all garbage because it's not a reflection of the standards that God has set before us. And I'm not saying that in the process of you doing things God's way that you still won't experience heartbreak, but we have to find a way to deal with that heartbreak in a very fair and concise way. So that way we don't start just taking out our pain on everybody and start treating people like products instead of people as God sees them. And I think you saying that this is a test drive that I need to figure out, I think we just have to question our own heart and motives and realize just how dehumanizing that is, to turn somebody into an object, to make them feel like they got to prove to you their worth before you take them home. Tells me that you don't even know the value that stands in front of you. And better yet, you don't even know the value that you carry. And I think if we got to that place of understanding that, and more importantly than anything, depending on the Father, seeing him as our Father, who takes care of his children, who isn't a deadbeat dad, and who knows what we desire, we have a phenomenal opportunity to lean closer into those things, lining our desires with his, allowing our tastes and views to be changed. What's most important, opening our eyes to see differently, no longer trying to measure people by a long, exhaustive list that ain't nobody ever gonna fully fill out, and you yourself don't even fully fill out. Don't even play yourself. But just really submitting that to God and allowing him to change our desires to align more with his, our taste to align more with his. And God will just show up, man, in such phenomenal ways. But it takes us taking that step to trust him and trust that he has the final authority. And I just really hope that as we land this plane and we land this conversation, that one of the greatest things that you could make the decision to do is now, starting now, save yourself. Starting now, preserve your body. Starting now, make a commitment that I'm going to honor my future wife by making decisions in my singleness today, making decisions in my healing today, to now begin investing in myself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and even financially, to be willing to heal through these spaces appropriately. So that way I can show up as the best man I need to be in my marriage and family. So I can show up as the best woman and wife I need to be in my future family and marriage. And that starts today. And stop letting people pump you for free. Just like you go to the gas station and you get your gas. That stuff don't cost, that stuff ain't free on a day-to-day basis. That stuff ain't free. You can't just pump gas and pull off. You got to go pay. It comes at a cost. It comes at a cost. So I need you to stop giving people so much free access to you. Some of you might need, some of you might be listening to this and your biggest challenge might be, hey, Lord, I just need to start trusting you. Maybe your challenge is, Lord, I just might need to start trusting you more with my sexuality. Lord, maybe it's not even, you don't even know where to start. Maybe it's like, Lord, just open my heart to reveal to me what it is you're trying to get to me through the end of this. What do you need me to see more of that's actually going to help me see the value of the lives around me and see the value that you placed in me? Lord, I struggle to trust you with my decisions in terms of who to date and who to go after and who to pursue. You know exactly the type of person I've made, but if I'm being honest, Lord, I honestly don't even know where that typo has came from. I don't even know where this type of person is even rooted from. And Father, I just need help and I want to journey with you. Lord, give me wisdom. Open my eyes to see people the way you do. Deal with my heart to actually approach people the way that you desire me to, that reflects your love and not something that's so selfish that causes me to look at people as products, that causes me to turn to people who reject me and call them all kinds of names after I had just approached them and said how beautiful they were, but their no turned me into a nasty looking individual. Lord, help me, Father, as I transition into this space that's unknown and that's so scary. I'm scared of what people will think about me. I'm scared of perhaps this relationship that I have where I got to come to an end of a grips and make a decision to put my foot out and say, hey, no more. We're not going to keep having sex because we're not married. You haven't made that commitment. And I'm afraid that if I made that decision that they're going to leave. Lord, deal with my heart and give me the boldness to step into what you're calling me to. And help me to really rest in the value that you have designed me in so that I don't have to second guess it when I come across somebody who can't see it. Like, that's my prayer for you. You know, that at my heart, I know I've done a lot of vibrato and hypeness and all that kind of stuff, but at the core, man, that's my heart for you. And sharing this entire story and hoping that it impacts you to not just tell your story and to know that God is just as active in the stories that you carry, just as he is in mine, but also to just learn the importance, man, of how valuable your body is, preserving your body is, and just the differences that it can make in your life moving forward. Because that's what I want for you. I don't like nobody playing around with your feelings like this. I just don't. And I want to be the guy that speaks life into you in those spaces to help you see the value you really carry so people don't get access to you so willy-nilly. What's happening, fam? Thank you so much for tuning in to this video. If you want to watch the full replay of this entire conversation, I'm sure it's popped up somewhere on this screen, so be sure to click that. But also, if you guys are interested in joining a free safe space for men community designed to help you heal and get your life back on track in 4 dimensions of faith, relationships, energy, and economics, click the link in the description below and be sure to sign up and join in this community so we can connect and get back on track to getting you back. Be easy.